like a goddamn sailor because nothing's changed. I used my phone as my camera, and I went to join. It didn't work, and I
Aren't you
rebooted
working on?
everything.
Aren't you on a Mac?
Yeah, I am on a Mac. I know, and
So,
that's what's
Apple,
frustrating. I'm like,
and you
dude,
have an
is this-
Apple phone too, right?
I was thinking this is like a Windows issue. Why? And dude, I was cussing like a sailor. I was like, no, it's like nothing's changed. It should just work. It wasn't working. Anyways, welcome to the podcast. I don't even know what episode this is.
Welcome to the 99th episode of the Home Theater Hub.
It's probably going to be the most boring one.
Yeah, it's we got some issues going on over here because we got handicapped Chuck, and then we got me who went through a traumatic experience with my son in the school today.
Oh no!
I'll talk about that just for a second about how incompetent school boards are, and then just with a long week of work and everything else. So probably going to be a not too long of a show today, guys. So but thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. So yeah. So
and live or after, yeah, always appreciate it. And you know what? I'm not even going to log into the YouTube stuff. I'm just going to literally comment as I see the comments come in on
there
this.
you go. Just comment right on there. That's the way you should do it. Just click down here where it says all. Just click your own name and you're good to go.
Yeah.
On the bottom right. So, but welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the 99th edition of the Home Theater Hub. Appreciate everyone for joining. Ike, I think I calls gremlins in my network now. By talking about yours. So you have AT&T, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the past 2 days, my AT&T has been super slow on a 5 gig network.
Did you not get an email from them?
On a 5 gig network, you know.
I've been having problems with mine for the last 3 days. Disconnect.
Yeah.
I actually got an email from them. It looked like they had a problem with the fiber.
So look, I mean, I don't know what would cause this, but I just tried to log into some bank information, like my bank account and like anything financial, a credit card account or anything like that using biometrics, and error. It just popped up error. I switched to my Xfinity. Everything works fine. So it's weird. It was really weird, but yeah, no, the AT&T network has been a little wonky.
I did get an email. As a matter of fact, they sent me an email and offered me a 32-cent credit for the downtime.
For the downtime. Hey, I know
you can't make this shit up.
Oh, you noticed the 2 seconds that you were down. Shoot. Whoa. Hey, you know what? That's better than gaslighting you the whole time. No, there was no problem here. What are you talking about? That was all you. You didn't reset. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I was actually wait. Is this correct? What it's $3.
Oh, $3. Okay. That
$3 whole dollars. Woo! Hey man,
$3 to 1 million customers. That's $3 million.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Even though they made 40 billion, that week, it's like, we'll give you 1 penny on the 10,000 you made.
I saw it. I laughed, man. I was like, oh well. Thanks for being considerate.
Hey, every little bit helps. You know what I mean?
I'll work hard for $1, right? So I'll take $3.
All right. So check this out. Let me see if I can zoom in. Look at this latest thing that I've done. Let me see if I can cause it to. Oh, yeah. I don't even know.
Pumpkin lamp?
Is it showing up? Yeah, look at that. I made that one. And I don't know if you guys can see. You'd have to zoom in. I'd have to zoom it in, but that's the
that's the pumpkin, right? Oh
yeah, that's the pumpkin, but that's K-pop.
Oh, okay.
K-pop Demon Hunter pumpkin.
No, zoom in. Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got the spooky ghost. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, look at that, man.
Oh, nice.
That's And then, of course, this is one of my best friend gifts for my
Nice.
birthday
So,
this past weekend. So,
very
anyways,
true to nature. And yes, happy birthday in arrears. So
Yes.
hey,
Happy birthday.
yeah,
I'm not even gonna
it was
ask
pretty
how
fun. I
much.
love
I'm
tons
not
of
gonna
people
ask
came
how
over.
much
It,
beer
it,
you
it
drank.
was a great time. It was a good time. It was fun.
How much coffee did you drink? I'm not gonna ask about the beer.
I didn't drink any coffee because I knew I'd stay up if I did that. That's the problem with the coffee, man. It'll keep, dude. That I have to stop drinking at noon any coffee because otherwise my body thinks I'm like 18 and can stay up until 3 in the morning. I was like, nope.
So I've been tasked to ask you about a good coffee machine because my wife, we have the little K cup machine, right? And
Mhm. K
she's
cups are great for your, hey, I gotta go, hit a button,
well,
so
she told me that they're no longer doing anything for her because in the hospital she works at, they have a Starbucks, and she's used to a three shot espresso, uh,
ooh.
white mocha, blah
Oh,
blah blah, venti, whatever the hell, and
look,
everything else, right? So
let me ask you this.
He doesn't know what
Is
asking.
is this something that would sit possibly outside of the home theater to impress the guests?
yes,
Okay. Basically, they have the Sage or the Breville. They just came
I
out
gotta
with a
turn
new
on my
one.
mic.
I just turned you up.
Oh,
They came out with a new one that basically it's not my thing because it does everything automatically for you,
Mm-hmm.
which is exactly kind of what you're looking for. I'll have to. It's a little pricey. It's
She's a
but I'm
doctor,
telling.
dude, and it's her favorite thing. She don't care.
Yeah, it's dude, I'm telling you right now, like my friend Tim, um, I told him, I was like, dude, this is the machine for your wife. It was like this because it makes let's put it this way. Lance Hedrick, who's a big coffee YouTuber schnob. When I say schnob in the nicest of way,
Right.
most people would think, oh, you're a schnob, but no,
I know what
he's
you mean.
just a really cool dude with coffee. And basically, he has like a $30,000 grinder, dude.
Yeah, we're not getting one of those.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And basically, this particular machine, he was like,
If you said Trinoff, it maybe, but
He-
not a grinder.
he literally
you
was.
can actually get a coffee maker that comes with a trainer.
Yeah, exactly.
give you an
He was
idea out
like,
there.
this particular, and I'm totally 50,000 foot view paraphrasing here. He was like, this machine makes coffee better than a lot of, if not most, coffee places you go to.
Okay.
And it's just your regular old Breville in our neck of the woods, Sage, but it's around $3,000. But let me explain what this thing does. You put the beans in it, right?
Right. It'll grind them.
Yeah, and you tell it, hey, this is what I want, and it grinds it and makes it. And based on the flow and the extraction rate, it automatically compensates the grinder to say, oh, we did that too fine or we did it too coarse, and it compensates. And basically, like by your third pour, it auto dials it in for the best friggin' extraction for your
So
coffee.
you guys have ChatGPT making coffee for you now.
Yeah, basically, that's what it's doing. It is automatically doing it on a level where if you are like, hey, I don't want to get into the
And it's called
science of it.
Sage, right?
It's the Plex of coffee. Now, granted, it
Thank
costs
you for
money.
finding a way to remind us that we're on the home theater hub.
It's not the it's not the
Sound like a
kaleidoscape.
coffee show.
It's not the kaleidoscape of coffee, because
I
trust
like
me,
that.
people that don't know, coffee machines that are high end they start at $15,000
Why though?
because of the consistency and
It's called
the
Sage, you said?
Breville in our Breville. I'll find a link. Yeah, and it has the Dude, it's an amazing. I was like, wow, it's about time, and it does
Yeah, because
all.
she just needs something stronger. She's like this.
Oh no, no, no,
one
no, no,
cup
no,
is
no.
just not doing
This
it.
thing, you basically say, oh no, I want it stronger, and it'll say, oh okay, and it'll automatically dial it in for you
Right.
type of deal. Like
She'll be happy to know that I solved her
yeah, you
issue.
say, oh, I want an Americano, I want a single shot, double shot, you know it. But again, this is high. This is, to me, this is prosumer. This is prosumer level, right? This isn't like your intro, because
Right.
you it like me, right? Since I know I've been looking at it and doing it and grinding, and you know I know all the science of the coffee. I can get the same experience out of like a $200 espresso machine.
Derek, I don't know if that's
You
a
know what
good
I mean?
thing, man. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, right. It's
but
the
hey, but look,
evolution. Yeah,
look, a cup of regular
pretty
coffee.
much. Yeah, I
A
mean,
cup of
that's
regular
just it.
coffee and a shot of pastis or Everclear would do the same
I am
magic.
telling you, every hobby has.
Might not make it a work though, but
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
it's if you're having fun, but like they finally got it to where it's like, hey, this is basically, you have to go to a place where you're paying $12 for a coffee to get the
Yeah.
same experience out of this machine that you're just basically throwing beans in and hitting a button. Boop. And that, hey, if you're doing that daily, it pays for itself in less than 6
And
months.
she's still going to buy the Starbucks coffee when she goes there.
Maybe not. Well, she'll start being judgmental. I can tell you that. She uses this machine. She'll be like, "Oh, okay, now I know." Like,
yeah,
God dang.
Starbucks lovers are in a league of their own, man.
Yeah, I told her, I said, you know, my friend Paul, I said, he's got like a grinder that costs $1,000. The only thing he does is grind the damn beans, you know?
Yeah, dude, that's not even. Yeah, that's not that is a low end. Yeah, if you want the diminishing returns for a grinder for like an average for a home is like $3,000. And you know me, I'm always the value shopper. So yeah,
Right.
I got a deal.
Yeah,
on
you get you
mine.
a hand grinder,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, and that's a lot of
$20 on
money.
Amazon, man.
I got my mother-in-law. She's from Brazil. She's got this little fucking pantyhose thing that hangs over a little.
Yes, that's the thing.
She does it, right?
But you know how much time that? Yeah, dude, I'm telling
That's
you.
old school, man. I work.
Hand grinders, bro. Hand grinders are like $300 or $400, and you're doing all the work. You know, if you buy a high.
Yeah, but your true coffee, you know, if you're
You know, I
grinding your
get
own
it,
beans,
you know.
I don't get it. I can't stand coffee, so I don't get it. It's not.
Well,
it's not.
See, that's the thing. Anyone, that's one of those things. It's like people that I don't like beer. I don't like coffee. I don't like, you haven't had a good version of that you like for your palate, you know.
I've tried all kind of coffees. I just don't like it. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. I've tried expensive coffees. I tried, you know, I'll do a hot chocolate. That's what I'll do when I go to when she goes to Starbucks. I'll get a hot chocolate because they pump the Ghirardelli chocolate. So it's.
Well, now you
I gotta keep my figure. All right, there we go.
You need to upgrade, man. But yeah, welcome back to the home theater.
Yeah, welcome.
Where we talk about all things home theater and, you know, drinking coffee while you do home theater.
You know, instead of can we trust him? Does it taste good? Or is it drinkable? Is it that's going to be my thing? Is it drinkable? Here's
so, like, what you got going on today?
Why would you do that to me? Why would you literally do that to me? As soon as I saw that, I'm like,
man, what do you do to piss him off?
So if you guys notice, Ike's sitting a little bit far back from the mic today. Ike's got a minor injury going on.
Yeah, because I went to soccer practice with my daughter, and I decided to go race with the kids, and one of my high muscles just gave up on me, and I literally went face down, head turned over, boom. Less than about an hour ago.
So he made it about right there. And then,
I couldn't resist. I apologize.
oh, man.
So it's been a nightmare for the last. I'm sitting here with an ice pack on my legs.
I cannot imagine. And you guys know
I'm in-
Miguel.
I'm
Miguel,
in severe pain.
my buddy, he tweaked his back this last week.
Hey, look who's in the chat laughing.
Going around.
Look, so much for. Oh, really?
That's how you know you're friends, when they're making fun of you when you're down. You know that?
His wife's on there laughing.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Oh,
like
man.
it's
Really,
like get up,
Oh,
man.
gosh.
It was crazy, man. As soon as I went head down, it's like, oh man, not my ACL, man, not my hamstrings, man. I'm like,
So this is
man,
brand
can't-
new
Brand new
from
porter,
this
huh?
area. Guess
American Porter.
look, you guys recognize this in the audio community, Lawrence, right? Or
Lawrence, yeah, that's Martin Logan.
yeah, I
I
think
just,
you guys I was gonna say you guys should know that. That's why I thought, you know what? Let's tie things together right here.
I just made a Martin Logan purchase the other day.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I gotta hide my face, apparently. But
Well, that's what
we're gonna try
Jessica
this.
says too.
You know?
But
That's a Lawrence. We'll call
I'm
this
on a roll
the
today.
Martin. We'll call this the Martin Logan sound experience right here.
oh man, no. Sorry, Ike. I'm sorry that you got injured, but it is funny.
hey, everybody's laughing at me, man. I'm like, all the parents are gonna talk about me at dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Did you see the way he fell? Like I leave.
I'm waiting for. I'm on TikTok right now looking.
Because usually it's like one leg that gives up on you, and then you kind of struggle.
You
It
limp.
was both, so I couldn't
Oh.
even stand. So I went, boom, and then
Oh,
used
damn.
my hands and supported myself and just flipped over. And I stayed down there for like 10 minutes, man, catching my breath. I'm like, who asked me to do this, man?
Yeah. Oh,
Damn,
goodness
man.
gracious. Well, yeah. So I had an eventful day two myself. Just to keep it long story short, school board sucks. Basically, as you guys know, I have a son that's slightly autistic. So, got a phone call from my wife today saying that they tried to put him on a bus when he doesn't, when he's a pickup rider. So luckily, we have like we have they're called RBTs. Basically, we have one of them that goes with him and goes to after school just to kind of help, with everything. And she called him about 2 steps from getting onto a bus. So needless to say, I had to do everything that I could do from getting trespassed when I visited that school today. So it was not a pretty sight. So yeah. So yeah, that was a scary moment, but some people are feeling the wrath today for sure. So but yeah, so I had that happen today. That was a rush to the school at 2:15,
And I hate stuff like that. And it's like, man, why is it that it's only the squeaky wheel that gets the grease? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
so-
man, I hate that. But you have to. You especially in a situation like that, right?
Oh
It's-
yeah.
You
I mean, I have an
have
air tag in his book bag and his lunchbox and stuff like that. So, just in case something would happen, but
yeah.
never want to have to use it for sure.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So-
That's the point. It's like, man, I feel for you, man. It's I don't even know what I would do for that.
Man, like I said, I had to restrain everything inside of me of not getting trespassed from that school.
Yeah, I hear you. And I mean, I it's just, it makes you wonder, like, how, where, what breakdown is this? This is like, this should be repetitive at this point for everyone.
The issue is that, I go to the school and the after school people tell them, oh yeah, they told us he was a bus rider today. And I'm like, in what world has he ever been a bus rider? And they were like, well, he's never been a bus rider. I said, yeah, exactly. You're the director of this place and you don't seem to think that that's odd. And you should give me a call to find out if he's a bus rider or not. You know?
Yeah,
So-
I'm just glad,
And then on
they
top of
agree
that-
on that.
Yeah. Then on top of that, the assistant principal was like, well, I think he just got into the wrong line. I'm like, no, dude, they already told me what happened, that they thought he was a bus rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't try to blow smoke up my ass and tell
Don't
me
try
this
to
is what happened.
Don't try to placate me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that. Yeah, everybody's trying to cover their ass, and
Mhm.
it's like, well, and I'll go a step further. Like, there's that's horrible, but at the same time, it's like, man, we live in a society now to where it's like, if people weren't like, oh, if it's your fault, you're damned forever, you're gonna lose everything you ever worked for, people may actually own up to their mistakes. But the way everything is nowadays is like, oh, I got to try to hide the fact that, oh yeah, I kind of pushed him over into that line, my bad, whatever the case may be. It used to be where people would be like, oh no, I did that. The person that did it was like, oh, I did that because I thought, and then they would learn.
Look, I can understand if it was the first week of school, first day of school. But we've been going to months. We're 2 months into school.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. But man, nowadays everything's like, it's like, even at work, it's like, oh, if something happens, like, who made the last mistake? That's the person that's going to get fired. No matter, it could have been a 10 out of 10 for the last 10 years. And then if something happens and they made one mistake in that one situation, it's like, oh, well, then we let that guy go. Like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. That's how everybody tries to hide any mistake they make.
Yeah. Well, you guys getting a glimpse into all of our lives today. So.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes that brings it, around to where it's like, we watch movies to try to get an escape. We try to relate. We try to have fun, and that brings us around. Ike, you were laying on your back. Did you watch any movies on the ceiling?
So he was watching the clouds.
Yeah, I was watching the clouds. I was counting the stars. There was actually no stars tonight. I did observe that.
I like, hey, honey, is that an extra mirror? I don't remember that mirror.
I tried to look for the full moon. There wasn't any out tonight. But yeah, well, I tried to watch I don't know if you guys watch this on Amazon. It's the Terminal List, Dark Wolf, the new series. Well, the next series.
I don't watch series at all. So that.
Oh, it's a good action pack,
And what?
It's a shooter. Shoot 'em up.
Service is it on?
It's Amazon Prime.
Amazon. Oh, okay, I do have Amazon. So.
Yeah, it's the Terminal List. It's shoot 'em up. It's like cool. If you watched any of the Navy SEALs, the Team 6, or if you watched, what's the original one that came out? Not Delta Force, but I can't remember. But it's a really good. It's not. It would put your home theater to test because it's live shooting. It's action packed. That was about as much. I didn't get to watch any movies, but that was because some people in the chat would know. Derek would know. I don't know if Wade is here. He'll probably know. But I ended up moving my in-wall SVS 3000s to behind. Now I have both of them. I used to have them at the both corners of the room. Now I moved them behind my back seat.
Okay.
So
like out of the wall?
No, they're still in the wall. But,
but they're just behind.
In the wall right behind now. So complete near field for the back row. And that allows me now to be able to put additional sub at the left back. Right, because I had it in there, so there was no way for me to put another subwoofer there, because then it would just make, You
were worried about the turbulence of the air coming off the front of if you put another sub in the corner.
Yeah, you don't want to put an SVS that is big right in front of
that. You don't want to block. You don't want to just put a piece of wood against your subwoofer,
Basically, that's what it is.
Did you become did you need me to come repair your drywall? It'd only take me like 3 years to get over there and do it.
No, I fixed it right there.
that's how long that joke's gone. Like, he's beating us to the punch.
I know, man. Felicia don't play, man. She was like, she has this imaginary fear of snakes. She's like, no, I don't want a snake coming through. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I patched her. I always patch it though. As soon as I make them. Yeah, I had to fix it. It wasn't a perfect job, so some type of acoustic panel might just find its way out there. But
Right.
You're like, nothing to see
see
here.
that? Just
Yeah, no,
It's
you
just
don't
a,
see
just,
that.
just a panel there.
And they're like, why
It's
is
an
it
extra bass
low?
trap.
They're gonna like, why is it at the low? Why is it that low in the back?
I shoved it full of insulation, and then it's an
Yeah.
extra bass trap.
It's premium
Yeah.
rock wool,
There you go.
you know.
Custom.
But yeah,
made.
that was as much as I did. Now I got to get a second mini DSP because I've used up basically the 4 inputs. Now the AVM 70 does have 2 independent subwoofer outputs. So it's either I get a second mini DSP or maybe sell the one I got and see if I can get the Flex that has.
Yeah, they got like the big 10 one.
What do you guys think? Because that's a
It's
question.
like
I wanted to ask.
$1,000 for that
Well,
big one.
okay. I'm glad.
No, they have a
Well,
cheaper
let's
one, man.
go. We'll talk about
Yeah,
that
we'll talk about it. Let's just go
after. But
around.
that is a good question because there's a lot of things with art, waveforming, all that stuff. And when do you and do you not? We'll discuss that. So Don, what did you watch? I had to write down my stuff because I always forget. But
You got Jessica in the chat to help you remember.
yeah, I watched one without her, so you know. So that's why I had to write it down. Otherwise,
Debbie
yeah,
does
I would be
Dallas
like-
don't count.
Well, yeah, I have to message her. That was the only time she like poked in. She was like, "Hey, we watch this," because usually I'm on Facebook. I'm like, "Hey, what movies did you watch?" I forgot the title. Literally, we will start a movie, and I'll be like, "I've never seen this before." 30 seconds into it, then I can tell you the whole movie and details about it.
Right.
It's
Well,
just
yours
I don't
is
know.
30 seconds. I usually go like halfway and I'm like, what am I doing here, man?
I already seen that.
And then I get mad at myself.
Hey, at least you were entertained halfway through the movie, you know? Where me, I'm just usually like, they'll be like, and it might be 30 seconds, but it'll be like a little bit into it, like a minute or two into the movie to where they're kind of getting familiar with the characters. And I'll be like, oh yeah. And then I'll be able to detail the whole thing. I'm like, God dang it. We did watch
So you
it.
want me to go before you? I have two things. And a third one that's an event.
I can go first if you're shy. So
Hey, show and tell.
I debated because of all the movie releases, but I watched Nobody 2.
Okay.
Jessica really liked that. Me, I was like, man, it's like it wasn't a bad movie, but it was like Fast and the Furious 23. You know,
Right.
Like, yeah, okay.
Overdone.
Well, yeah, it's like, okay, is this John Wick? Is this, like a mild-mannered person that's really a badass?
Right.
Okay, with a family, I'm protecting my family. Okay, I mean, nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you really got to get really good. That's the writers and doing, like, if you're doing something like that, you got to give us one little piece of newness or something. That it's not that story's bad,
right?
It's an amazing story. Everybody loves that story. Otherwise they wouldn't be so popular, because anybody that hasn't seen that exact plot and storyline like 50 times already would be like, oh,
I've not watched it just because of that reason. I haven't watched Nobody or Nobody 2 yet. So
yeah. Nobody, the first one was a little bit, it's a little bit, but then Nobody 2 is like, Nobody 2 is what you would expect, what you were probably expecting from Nobody. And I was the same way. I didn't watch that. I watched F1.
There you go.
Yeah, I finally got that, and I buy that.
What you think of that?
I liked it. It was a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked the movie itself. Yeah, it was definitely good. What did you think about the audio?
It was good. I didn't have a problem with, a lot of people like, I want, Atmos here or there. And it's like, have you ever been to Indianapolis? Like, that's exactly how it sounds. Like, you don't have Formula One cars flying over you.
Right.
You're 50 feet above the car. So it's not even if it crashes and goes 10 feet in the air, it's still not flying over you. But at the same time, you know, I get why people want that. Like, hey, I want to feel like, oh, it's coming at me and I'm the one crashing. So I totally get that. But as far as like the audio, there's nothing wrong with it. I enjoyed it. Nothing was distracting about it. I wouldn't say that there was anything, I don't know. It's hard to do like, oh, what's a new demo or what's something that's really, even though the demo scenes, I wouldn't even have picked the demo scenes that we had whenever we were at Cedia. I was just like, yeah, I mean, it's a good demo scenes because it's F1 and it's a newer movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? Hey, maybe there's, hey, if you're certain vendors or manufacturers, you got to promote certain movies. Right. So I don't know all the behind the scenes when it comes to that. And that could be, but yeah, F1, I liked it. It was a great movie. Now, if you're all super trying to be, oh, this isn't accurate, that's not how the story was, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. I get that too. But
actually from what I understand, like the director or like the people doing the sound, they were like actually like real Formula One drivers that when there was super picky about some of the sounds. I read that.
Yeah, that was my whole point. It was like, no, it sounded as if you were there, but but like I said, I've also went into, well, I understand how some people might not like that because they want to feel in the act. They want
like the wind's rushing over them,
overemphasize like, oh, all this stuff happening, right? And it's just like, no, it was real. It's like sometimes, it's just, it's one of those things. But yeah, to me, I enjoyed it and it wasn't distracting. And I've seen several F1 because I was born in New Albany, Indiana, and I've seen a couple F1 Indianapolis races. They're a lot to me. Nothing against NASCAR. I love the fact that you can bring your own beer.
a lot of left turns.
Yeah. I wonder if we switch it to right-hand turns, how long the race is. No, just kidding. That's a total joke. Also, I watched Fantastic Four. Yeah. And
you watched some recent movies.
You know what? That was, if you didn't call that if it wasn't labeled Marvel, I would have thought it was a different superhero movie. It was cute. There were certain scenes in there that was like, oh wow, this is more like almost like true comic book. Even though it was action, it had a lot of things that you wouldn't, that kids would get scared about maybe, but it was more of that, like almost like true comic book movie.
Okay.
Not just let's do all the CGI type of thing. And you'd almost just have to watch it because they didn't get super in depth with some of the things. Some people, I liked it. I, would give it, your, hey, as far as Marvel movies, yeah, it's definitely probably a 7 because it's a little different,
Right.
But some people may be like, oh, that's, you've seen all the things, but just the way they did it, again, it was just they could have developed a little bit more of your connection to some of the characters.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't have like a 4-hour movie. You know what I mean? So
it was actually
but
I was just about to ask how long was it, because
that wasn't my complaint. But if someone did say, oh, I didn't feel that, they feel like they rushed this, I could understand that. But to me, I was like, okay, yeah, it found, someone could say that this was the intro to the Avengers Doomsday only. And that's like the only, so they could they could say that, and I would be like, yeah, I get you. No, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, but the movie was well enough to where it's, it was worth a watch. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
So what about the sound? How was the sound?
It was, now we're going to go back to the, how was the Superman base or the Fantastic Four? Because, there's all this drama with, I understand both parts of how some people would be like, there's no bass in this, there's bass in this. To me, in this movie, the sound was fine. They did, all the overhead, whatever. They did the painting, but let's be real. Most people, when they talk about the sound, they're talking about their bass. What they did in this movie, they rarely do in movies, and they didn't have the one bass button. It's like, oh, hey, here's an impact moment. Hit button 5. Oh, here's another impact moment. Hit button 5. They had different layers of bass, and whenever there was a certain, I don't want to spoil any of the movie for anybody, but where there's something that should be more impactful, that's where they use the bass. So some people are like, there's no bass in that movie. Well, yeah, because they only did it whenever it was appropriate. So some people don't like that. Some people like the constant, hey, every time a door slams, I want bass button. Oh, planet got exploded. Hit the same bass button. Oh, hey, I stomped on the ground. Hit the same bass button. It's like, some people love that, because they just want to, feel all the tactility in their room and experience all their, bass shakers, or even if they don't have the thousands of dollars worth of equipment, they want to feel and experience that. But, this was more of a, hey, to me, they did a really good job of the sound. It was like more of a classical, Marvel sound stage. It wasn't like overdone in any scenario. So some people would say, oh, it wasn't that good because it wasn't overdone anywhere. It was just like, hey, we're doing all this in this, movie.
Right. It sounds good. Sounds good for sure. I haven't seen it yet, so I definitely want to get out there.
Hey, I will be watching the 4K The Sound of Music here within the week. So
before I go into my list, you have another one or no?
I have. Let me see if I can pull this up. So I pre-partied.
Hey, Skylake, you should come on the show, man.
Hey, come on the show. Yeah, we've asked you to email and everything else. If you want to join
on the show, if you want to come on the show, experience, all are welcome, man. Like,
absolutely,
we're doing our best to communicate to them.
All right, here we go. This is. We always talk about we always show the beer that I drink. Now here's what I drank prior to coming here.
There we go.
This is I won't even mention price, but this is Sam Adams Utopia. And it is every other year, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a 30%, 25 to 30% ABV is what it generally is. And this year, this is Jessica's favorite version.
It can, from what I'm looking at here, it can definitely range in price too. So there's a 2021 edition. There's a 10th anniversary edition.
Oh, you're just looking at the bottles?
If
you get the bottles, the bottles sell.
Okay.
The bottles will resell for more than the actual liquor. Anyway, so that was fun. That was unexpected. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, that's the bougiest of bougie beers. Well, one of that's like in the top 10 like world bougie of bougiest beers. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a really, like, every couple years they brew a different style, a different take, and it like I said, it's 25 to 30% ABV, and they do limited editions. As far as like it's only made in these 700 milliliter bottles. There's no such thing as like a keg of it. Doesn't exist. Like even Yard House, Darden Industries, which owns, Yard House,
tons of restaurants.
yeah, like 5 different of the biggest restaurants that you eat at, Red Lobster, stuff like that. This Kansas City area got 4 of them.
Oh, that was it for the whole entire area.
That's it. Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Well, glad you got to enjoy some of that.
Sometimes we don't get to partake in it, and it's nice of them to do this. They don't really make money off of this per se. It's more of like, hey, you got to be in the know type of deal. But it's a fun little event for all the people that are regulars, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Glad you got to partake in some of that.
Yeah.
So before I talk about my week, other than my day that I've already talked about, I just want to say hi to Anthony C. Big. Thanks for joining the chat. Easy HT for giving us a laugh already. Andrew, Anthony, Derek, appreciate you. Let's see who else we got here. We got Jessica in the chat. Thank you, Jessica.
Andrew's in the chat.
Chris, Corey, what's up, Corey? Good seeing you in the chat again. Really enjoyed our time at the dinner that we had out there in Cedia. So thank you so much for the company there. Let's see. And then we got Sky Lake in the chat. What's going on, Sky Lake? EJL, thank you. Rich is in the chat too. He was talking about your series there. Ike said it's a good series. Yep. So yeah, Andrew again. Yes. Hey, Skylight.
Senor Dusty is in the chat.
Senor Dusty. Mr. Abe is in the house. What's going on, sir? So yeah, just throwing it out there. If you guys do want to be a guest on the show, by all means, we'd love to have you come on. Just send us an email to hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. We'd love to have you as a guest. If there's something that we're doing that you think we could do better, come on and show us how to do it. We're all open for sure. So no offense to anyone, but we're just amateurs here. We're just trying to have fun and vent and get away from our everyday lives, right, on a Thursday night. So appreciate all of you guys joining. Appreciate that. All right. So for me, I watched something that pissed me off. Is actually what I watched. But
what you were James Bond?
No. So I watched a Netflix documentary.
Oh boy.
And it was 100% body cam footage. An hour and a half of body cam footage.
Like a GoPro?
So no, the cops have to wear body cams, right?
Man.
So this was the perfect neighbor. Look, I tell you what, I like I said, it got me so immersed into it that I was pissed off at the end. Right? There's only a couple movies that I've ever been pissed off at. One of them was $1 Million Baby, where the lady boxer hit the other boxer in the back of the head and like paralyzed her and everything else like that. But this movie had me aggravated at the end. It's a good watch. It really is. Wow. I would say, if you, it's about this lady here. Basically, she kids kept playing in the side yard next to hers, and she would call the cops on the kids like every other day, and finally just lost her shit. I'm not going to give the end of it up, but it was really a really good movie. As far as I don't like the outcome of it by no means. But as far as I've never seen a movie made like this before, and just using basically public body cam footage that you can put together.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was really good. So I would recommend watching it. It does talk about certain laws, and even my wife were having a discussion afterwards about, because in Florida we have a stand your ground law, and her and I were getting into a debate about it, right? So it'll definitely get you thinking for sure.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's a tough thing, right? Because I mean it is. It's just there's so many things that people don't like. I think I even had this discussion like this week because I made a comment, and someone, also was, into psychology, and they asked a question, and I was like, no, you're absolutely right. I get defensive or, whatever, maybe am more judgmental because when I was a child and my entire youth life up to 18, everyone attacked me. I was an easy mark, right? So I instantly go on the defense.
right.
Well, because 110 out of 99 people would go for me, right? So, what do you expect? And then for someone to buy or own their property, like, well, hey, what are you doing are you trying to, even though it might not be used, right? So one person might look at something, and I haven't seen this movie, and say like, well, you're not using it. You should just let people use it. It's like, well, I did this because I want this extra barrier or this extra beauty of my own. Why are you trying to take from me? You're trying to say that you own what I worked for, so there's two parts to it, right? And you don't know the two people, right? And there's two sides to every story, what I say. And if you hear both sides, you're only hearing 80% of the story,
Right.
because that extra 10% of each side is an emotional representation, aka I'm not telling a story whether I want to or not. I'm not telling a story to make this person look better, right? I am telling the story of, hey, this is how I emotionally felt at the time. This was my perception of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
so if you want to get riled up, I definitely say watch that movie.
Man, that's one of those movies that I would fucking hate to watch.
No, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I mean, look, it was.
I probably will.
It was definitely informational, but even myself. So, like I told you, it was preference on kids playing next to her yard,
Yeah,
right?
that's tough.
So, you do have to look at both sides, right? And kids are noisy. They do stuff. They do all kind of stuff. So, if you're an older person and you moved into a neighborhood, and you just want peace, obviously, that was just the wrong neighborhood for this lady to live in, right? So, but. And as she's calling the cops, I just picture myself as she's calling the cops on these kids. And I even told my wife this. I said, look, like I said, I'm not going to give away the movie. I mean, it was national what happened. So you guys probably seen it, right?
I didn't know they made a movie out of it.
So, but, I told my wife, I was like, look, if I were in that situation and my kids kept going over there playing and this lady's progressively getting more angry, and you don't know what people are capable of, I would have removed my kids from the situation. I would have told them, look, you're not allowed to play over there no more.
Regardless if you feel you
Right.
were right or not.
Exactly.
Okay.
Even though it's common space and you're allowed to play there
yeah.
and everything else, I was like, look, I would have pulled my kids from that situation. Just keep them out of that situation.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're like you said, there's two different sides of to look at this, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely check that out. It was very interesting.
It being a common space makes it a little bit more, even more complex.
Right.
Like if you're moving next to a park, you could expect park activities happening. Do you not? You know what I mean? Like if you move next to a nature reserve,
right?
And again, that makes it that much more complicated. And and that, you know what, that makes good movies. You know,
yep,
it
exactly.
your own, you know, because the reality is, you don't know what you're going to do until it happens.
Exactly.
You can mentally prepare, but until it happens,
until you see red, you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly, dude.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, so check it out. I recommend it. You know, like I said, I don't like the end result of it. I'm not recommending it for that, and by no means. Just because it's an interesting movie that gets you thinking and gets you thinking about what you would do and everything else like that. So, by no means.
So if you want to get pissed off, watch Don's recommendation for the movie this week, because apparently he likes to piss you off. You know, it's like, hey,
list.
I'm building a theater. It will be revealed.
Watch it.
We're still waiting on it.
So the other thing that I watched, my wife and I, we finished the Dexter Resurrection. So that was pretty good. We watched. It's part of the reason why I'm tired tonight too, because we watched 3 episodes last night and 3 episodes the night before.
Damn, dude.
I was up until like 1 o'clock each night because it got that good. It really did after the second episode
of the Dexter.
So hey, Skylight, there might be another Dexter. There was kind of something that was alluded to in the next to the last episode. There might be another one. I'm not going to spoil it, but there was kind of another. There was kind of another. But yeah,
maybe not. You know, it's like
yeah.
You know.
So I watched that. That was good. I would recommend, if you're a Dexter fan, by all means check this out. There was some twists and turns that weren't foreseeable. So
is this a movie or a series?
No, this is a series.
Oh, okay.
So Dexter is I think there's like 4 different.
Yeah, I just looking at this, it looks like the way it's showing on here. It looks like, I was like, wait, this looks like it's a movie.
Yeah, it's just showing like recaps of all the
gotcha.
like that. So yeah. So and then we got to partake into, let's see here. And this will lead into home theater, but we got to partake in a museum.
We've done that before. Yeah, that's cool.
Super Blue. So this is
that one.
So this room right here with the flowers, it was totally immersive, with probably like 25 to 30 projectors hanging from the ceiling and on the walls. And when you I don't know
part with the stairs is different. That looks wild.
Yeah, so that was a mirror maze room with an upstairs with a couple level upstairs and stuff like that. So but that room, let's see if there's any pictures or anything. No, they want you to buy tickets. They're not going to show pictures. But I got some pictures, but I don't really like the way they turned out, so I didn't put them up here. But yeah, so I watched that room with the flowers on the wall. If you touched the wall, the leaves would drop off of the flowers and they would all go down. If you touched the stems, the flowers would grow and they would grow and multiply to the thousands of flowers and everything else. And then the floor was also interactive also, which was really cool, So we did that, and that was all done by a bunch of projectors, right? So I don't know what the what the AI or what the program behind it was. Those lights, the light bulbs that you'll see here right next, they were all on different levels, and there was 4 sensors hanging down around the room. And basically, kind of like your iPhone works to see your heartbeat, it literally, you put it right above your palm, and those lights would flash to your heartbeat. So that was pretty cool. And then obviously this was a mirror maze, and there was some other projection stuff too. But yeah, we got to partake in that. The main reason we went there is because stone crab season opened up for Florida on the 15th, and I've been craving some stone crab. So I told the wife, I said, "Hey, let's go to South Beach. Let's get some stone crabs from the most famous stone crab place."
What is stone crab? Is that crab that's been to Colorado and back?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What is stone crab?
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, stone crabs. You don't eat the body; you just eat the claws, is what it is. So they're
right.
So yeah, so they're but yeah, they I told them let's go to the most famous place for stone crabs, which is Joe's down in South Beach. So we went down there, spent a little time at the beach. It was 85 and sunny.
Man, you must have been having a good time, because people in Florida, they don't go to the beach, man.
Yeah, I normally don't.
In case people don't know,
yeah, like my son loves the beach, but you're correct.
Yeah,
I've been here for 6 years, and 6 years, and I've been to the beach twice. So you're correct.
That's what I'm just saying that, like.
All right, so. But yeah, so that's what I did this week. But yeah, for as far as
immersive art, and that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, my son loved it. He really did. I got some cool pictures of him and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we spent about 2 hours there. It was pretty fun. So, all right, let's look at some comments here. I know Derek asked me a comment. I have the Martin Logan 60 XTIs for my front, left, and right. Speaking of that, if you guys didn't watch last time, I mentioned the fact that I was trying to calibrate my system and I changed the crossovers to full on all my speakers, and didn't realize that I didn't turn them back. And after going to Chuck's house, had to play a demo scene from Open Range.
He was trying to keep up with Chuck.
Yeah, and I lost the slugger. Just long story short, I lost the center channel. So luckily I bought 2 from Michael. I bought a pair of 60 XTIs when he was selling them, and I had a spare one in the closet, so that one quickly got replaced. Did reach out to Martin Logan this week. Good news is the drivers were very inexpensive. I told them that I was a dealer for them. I'm getting 2 drivers for less than $200. So I mean, I can't complain. Bad, Shipped and everything else. So just replaced the drivers. I think I mentioned that one of my rail subs was kind of making a weird noise too. So this weekend I'm gonna be taking one of the actual speakers out of the one of the stacks, and I'm going to replace it just to make sure. But I did reach out to them too. Those drivers are not cheap. So those drivers are about half the price of the actual speaker itself. So I'm not looking forward to replacing that one at all. But anyway, I'm hoping that it's just something vibrating inside that's making a noise or something like that I haven't figured out yet. But yeah, so Martin Logan 60 XTI is going across the front. The rest of the bed layer is the Martin Logan 35.
Man, this guy's been building it so long, he forgot the stuff that he bought, man. Like that, so long as time.
Martin Logan 35. I think they're the 35 XTIs. They're a bookshelf. And that goes all the way around. And then the other, it's the Motion series. Let me see. Trying to get to them. So they might have a new name now for the Motion series, but yeah, the B100s are the replacements for what I had. It was the 35 XTI, and then in the ceiling I have the architectural. Let's see what they are. The architectural Motion XTC8s, which they're angled, and then I actually use the same angled speakers for my wides. So it's these ones down here on the bottom. So the good news is that every speaker that I have has the same exact tweeter. These Atmos speakers actually have the same exact 8-inch woofer as the front left LCRs.
Oh, okay.
And
so that's a huge enclosure there. That
correct.
woofer in there is 8 inches. That means that's like, gosh, that's like, man, does that fit in between studs?
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
almost twice.
You know how they measure, right? So they're not officially, they're measuring from the taint.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So they're not officially
hanging out with me too long. Yeah, you're stealing my punchline, man.
So
you're supposed to be the professional one, Don. Don't be taking my.
So yeah, but they're not truly 8-inch drivers, but I think the basket and stuff is 8 inches on the outside. However, the industry measures them. Hence the reason why Ryan.
You're saying a man measures those.
Yeah, why Ryan was able to replace a 50-inch subwoofer with a 60-inch subwoofer in the same exact enclosure without making a cut, right? So
we're calling this.
Somebody really needs to investigate that.
and no guy is like, oh no, that sounds good. No, that's right. It's that looks legit. Yeah, it grew like 14 inches. Sure.
Oh, wow,
so
my camera cut off.
So he's got all the Martin Logans. That's pretty cool. So did you have anything else besides? I mean, we don't need to see your face. You're showing the friggin' the website.
Yeah. So those are the so I got 8 of these. 1, 2. What is it?
You need
6.
You need to speak out,
4,
because you don't even remember what you got.
6. Yeah, exactly. I got 7 of the 35 XTIs because I have a rear center also.
Oh, you got to. Oh, yeah, of course.
So I have 2 sets of side surrounds and a rear center.
So how you doing that on your 16-channel process?
I'm not. It's there.
It's there, just not being used.
It's there. However,
future upgrades.
Yes. So, however, the Lindorf does have a setting to where it has the rear center.
We got one of my favorite.
Actually, Guinness.
This is my favorite chocolate beer. This, if you like chocolate, literally is like a cacao, like actual chocolate beer. It's totally different than any other porter. This is my favorite. Like this
the only thing that gives me hope about that is
this is all and this is
in the UK. So that
this is all natural too. That's what I'm saying. This one right here, this is my favorite chocolate stout, hands down. Not even a question. Like I love this, and one of my friends bought this for me for my birthday. He brought it over, and he was like, "Oh, have you had this?" I was like, "Dude, that's literally my favorite." And he was like, "Oh, okay." I think he was kind of disappointed that he didn't find something new, but at the same time, it's like, "Oh, dude, that's literally my favorite." Like
we'll get to that.
favorite chocolate stout, hands down.
Nice.
So
Corey says, what do you guys think about the Arundel 1723s? Look, I've only heard the what was the one we heard at the M Wave? The big bookshelf that they have, the studio monitor.
Well,
That
they were
they
the LCR. They were basically kind of the same. Like,
right.
It was the same, just about.
yeah. It's just so my thing. Okay, no filter. I like those speakers, but I'm like, I would probably just get SVS. But the build and you could do something that I think Joe found out, like you could do something with one of the crossovers or something where, and I forgot what it was that people complained about, but most people didn't do that or didn't know about it or didn't complain about it enough. It's a really good speaker and it's built very well.
HDF.
Yeah,
And all the components and everything are really good. Like it is, that is probably, as miser as I am, it's like that's probably the upper echelon of where I would go before I'm like, yeah, you're paying for, if you're talking, hey, audio quality versus, look, if you're just talking looks, like, hey, $200,000, whatever, we're just now starting, you know what I mean? Like, this is really good sounding speakers. You can always, use a measurement tool to be like, they didn't do this here, there. But I really like all the Rindle or Arundel line because they're high quality. They are expensive. They're higher end, but they are really good. Everything about them is really good quality. They're at that upper level or upper limit of price for me personally of, hey, now you're starting to get into, well, am I paying for just the name? You're right at that cusp.
Yeah.
But they do everything quality wise. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm picking this up. Like, no, this is like,
so
shit.
So Jonathan Von England, he's got a channel and they do the AV experience, him and Ryan, and I'm just repeating what he said, that he didn't think they could reach reference. So if you want to reference theater,
gotcha,
just make sure that you do your research on them first. But we've had Paul and I know a couple different YouTube guys that have them. Also, we know another person that we met through a channel that has them, and they absolutely love them. So
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's been,
and
but they don't listen at reference. They're not trying.
Saying reference, we're talking 85 dB constant volume with peaks, of what it was, that 15 dB peaks. And most people aren't listening to that. So, that's one of those things where you have to judge for yourself. And when it gets to that price point, it's like, and it also depends on your room size, right? Like, if you're trying to do that and you're like 100 by 100 foot room, it's like, yeah, probably not. That's probably not the right speaker for you.
Yeah, and it'll depend on what you're trying to do, right? Are you trying to, for example, replace your front three with Arundels? Are you trying to get, your entire speaker set up depending on how many channels you have, right? But like Paul said, they're well built. They sound good. They have been questions about their ability to play at reference.
Yeah.
So those are some things to consider. They are also good speakers that you can get without getting to those price
Absolutely.
to that price point. So it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to replace just an LCR, probably, good. If you're trying to replace an entire bed layer, maybe 7 speakers, you probably might consider other brands. No name specific, but
I think they're fantastic. From what I heard,
they're good. From what we've heard, they play well. they look good. If you're not gonna hide them, they look good.
So one thing that I do have a more prolific opinion on is what what Skylake is saying here. Skylake, I've heard several JTR systems. M-Wave, I've been to people's house. I've been to the Scott Newby's house. If you've not heard these, you don't know what you're talking about here, bro. They're good. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're good speakers. They definitely pack a punch for sure.
Yeah.
You know, the subwoofers are fantastic. They do not sweat at all when you pump power to them. So they are great speakers.
I don't know the whole. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, is he talking about this comment?
But is he referring to the new ones, the Kalos or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I haven't heard those ones, but
I want to know what he's talking about as far as like what are you referring to their new line?
So I've heard the Cantos also, not the Cantos, the
Kalos.
Kalos. I've heard the Kalos. I heard them in Scott Newby's house.
Yeah, I'm just before I comment, I'm like, well, I was like, did they say that they did anything new, or what are they trying to like?
I think they just made it slimmer and look better. Because for
yeah,
people like
if
me,
if you're talking about the new model, I think that they're just trying to appeal to
a wider,
more than the black box. No offense,
right.
No, but the truth is that's always been my issue with it, right? I like to. I don't know about putting 9 of those in my room because they just don't. I would enjoy the bass and the sound.
Yeah.
But after 6 months, I'm like, man, I want to walk in and look at some pretty speakers. So I think the new lineup is targeted towards that.
Behind the screen, JTR, without a doubt, they are using high-end components. Like they're not using the and this is what people don't understand. It's like if you're trying to show off, right? That's different than I'm wanting to have an amazing home theater experience. Amazing home theater in an 8 by 12 foot room. Doesn't take anywhere near as much as what is capable of a JTR. And I will say this. When we first experienced Per Listen versus JTR at the Lade Center, dude, and I'll just be blunt, those Per Listens sounded like shit compared to the JTRs. Those JTRs are like whatever, and we're like 50 fucking seats back, and they were just like whatever, and compared to a speaker that costs 3 times the money. So it's, what are you going for? Where versus, like, I'm not saying the Per Listen's garbage. I'm just saying in that scenario, in that situation, I would have definitely JTR all day. But if you want something that looks amazing, that has a more vertical control dispersion for your application, that's really well built as well, then maybe you go the Per Listen, right? Like, because that might be your, in your 2-channel setup, So everything has its thing. So, but his question is like, is he coming? They're trying to reinvent the wheel because they're just trying to make speakers that look better, or is there something that I don't know about yet? Right?
Yeah.
Are they doing like some quadro sub thing? I was like, I don't know that they've said they've invented anything new. Did they?
I from at least from what I've seen and heard talked about, I don't know if that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think they're just trying to widen the appeal.
And if it's about the new speakers that look better, it's like, not everybody wants to do an auditorium of 50 rows, like,
I even think a lot of people who own them even misuse them in the sense that their rooms don't even allow it to, to truly shine because you're taking all the speakers and just putting them in
Yeah.
this small 12 by,
Yep,
14
exactly,
room. And it's
exactly.
like you got tangent, so.
And
now,
that point, maybe just go for something that looks better versus that could.
except you're Scott Dupie, right? That's a special use case because he just loves, he's doing it
That's base though.
for his own passion. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's doing it for a
different.
particular purpose.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not
a
just,
hobby. That's a hobby.
yeah,
you
that's
know?
a hobby for him.
That's no different than that's like when it comes to cars, right? Are you racing or are you drag racing, right? Racing is you're going around corners. Drag racing, well, yeah, you're just throwing on the gas pedal and going from 0 to as fast as you can to the quarter mile or whatever length track you happen to be racing on. There's a big difference, right? Because and there's a different thing. Like, hey, if you get up to 180 miles in a quarter mile, holy moly, that's amazing.
It does look good, man.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of the
Compared to
the Steinway, the Lindorf speakers we saw where you can hang them.
Yep.
Don't be comparing them to those, man.
No, what I'm saying is just the ability to
I
hang
really
them.
did like I'm not even.
No, the ability to mount it on the wall, right?
Yes,
the Lindorf you can mount. It's a tower that you can mount on a wall.
That absolutely.
That's the reference that I'm making, right?
But I'm with you. I get you.
Yeah, what you just showed, I can rock that in my room and have 7 of them and not have a problem.
Yep. And
I can tell you that
they have different finishes.
I can tell you that that if you had 5, 7, 9 of those speakers in your room, you're not wanting anything else. I promise you that. I heard them. They are
A car
and this 12 and this 12-inch
subwoofers.
and this 12-inch subwoofer was the 2 of these 12-inch subwoofers was literally shaking the. And look, it is a suspended floor, but this 12-inch subwoofer was shaking the entire floor.
Yeah,
and you could see how it's made. Look at it.
Yeah.
That is 3/4-inch wood just pressed together all the way through and through.
Yep.
I wonder what it weighs, man.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's just it.
Look at that. That's just pure 3/4-inch birch all the way
looks
through.
Like you can paint it whatever you want.
So look, I don't want to spread any false information. I don't own JTR. I don't have a relationship with JTR. I don't expect to have a relationship with them. But I just want to preference that.
Yeah.
Until you hear it, don't talk. I'm not sure if you had a chance.
The performance is not exaggerated.
Well, here, that's the thing. I think
maybe not. I haven't heard the new ones, but the ones that I've heard, it's not exaggerated.
The brand comes from someone that basically they're making commercial grade products, and now they're trying to make them more appealing to consumer grade. And that's what you're looking at right there. And that's a tough line. Like that is a tough line to toe, right?
Oh, wait, what? $3,500 for 12-inch sub?
Yeah.
They cost almost as much as the RS1s.
Are you paying for the wood?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You have to understand the sign. Like if you were to build that sub yourself in that quality with those components sourced, you would probably spend $9,000 in time with the time. Sure, if you were just talking,
but it's still a high.
If you were talking just components, and you had billions of years of experience, maybe $1,200, $1,500 worth of stuff there, right? But you got to make money. You know what I'm saying? But you spent and probably lost who knows how much money screwing up 12 of them. You
Dude,
know what I'm saying?
You can buy the SB17s, not the PB, but the
Mhm.
SB17s for 2,600.
I would say in this scenario, I on that comment that you just made, Ike, yes. Do you need this? No, but again, it's like, well, are you trying to show off for the boys? Or are you just trying to have a
No,
good
I think there's a
experience?
market for it.
Oh
GTR
yeah,
lovers,
absolutely,
GTR
man.
lovers will buy, and
You
everything.
know?
But I'm just looking at the average consumer, right? Who
Oh
sees
yeah,
a
no.
12-inch sub
Average
versus a 17.
consumer is not looking at this, you know. Yeah, I mean, look at the
That's a 12
excursion on that.
for the
The power and something like that, like you could probably a couple like 1800 watts RMS or something like that would probably make that thing sound like it was like an 18 or a 21 inch, you know. Oh yeah. Don't gosh forbid we get audio, strike for sound. Anyways,
I
no,
make
that's
nothing
good.
anyway, so it don't matter to me.
That's a good that's a good gosh dang, look at that. And see
good
that
discussion
right there,
for
you can
12-inch
see
sub. Yeah.
this is what's so tough about subwoofers. You can even see in that little video that you have where it's like bouncing back and forth. Like that's what's so tough about subwoofers. You're trying to control that.
It
Mhm.
looks very
Yeah.
well. I mean, I
Oh,
expect
it's amazing.
them to be well built, given
Yeah. Oh, dude.
JTR's
Yeah. JTR
legacy of doing
JTR is
stuff
good
well.
stuff. Do you need it? No, I don't. What are you trying to? What's your end goal? If you're trying to impress the Kansas City group of base, dude, I don't have anything. I'm
If
not
you're
even.
trying to do it at your 12-inch, it will save you.
I'm not even in the realm in my own area, right? I'm not even on the ladder. I'm not even on first rung.
No, they look good,
the
bro.
area,
They look good for just
Yeah.
I think it's a step in the right direction for them.
Look at the white one. I mean, the white one under there looks nice.
There's two ugly guys on the TV screen. Never.
I know, man. I don't know.
But I think it's a step in the right direction, for expanding the market share. And I think you get the option of choosing, how the box ends up looking like. I think they give you a few options now, so there's a market for it.
I got to put this video out because Scott originally put like a 3-part series out from when I went to his house. So I think it's long enough now that I can put this video together, without infringing on what he wanted to do.
JTR, did they invent anything new? No, they didn't invent anything new. They just make good quality, not for everyone, high output, high experience speakers. It's like there's nothing new. I mean,
yeah, PSAs are another. Kyle says he decided to go with the PSA MTM 212. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can go wrong with PSAs too, right? They're well built too.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
They're more affordable,
and that's just it. Audio is all about okay, you can make yourself go deaf with a $50 pair of headphones. Put that into perspective.
Or you can be like Big Jack and Beauty of damn subwoofers.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Beauty, I said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's always a trade-off. And I agree, the cabinet. That cabinet is expensive. It looks expensive.
If you do all your own work, do like everyone else, start a YouTube channel and filming yourself making it. Because you're trading time versus money with any of this.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and we talk about Theory Audio. Those things, some of those subwoofers they have are massive. I mean, I was at Cedia. I'm going to try to pull up some pictures of some of their subwoofers. I didn't get a chance to visit the Theory Audio room. I really wanted to. I understand they have good pro quality stuff, but I mean,
next year we'll divide and conquer if we ever do any of that. You know, that is, there was so much stuff at CEDIA. Like, we just were talking about all the name brands, but like out of the, 80, 100 different vendors that people know, there was literally 300 or 400 different vendors that no one's heard about, or they're trying to make their name, and they had amazing booths and amazing displays. And it's like, man, it's like, dang, there was a lot going on there. So anyways, what about the next question we had here that I don't want to forget, besides the JTR? I wanted to ask, if I put 50 millimeter rock wool instead of 100 millimeter, would it bad? I got brick wall, double drywall, MLV, and resilient channel with all the 50 millimeter rock wool. Okay.
It sounds like a pretty built room, man.
Yeah, with the channel and all that stuff.
There's a lot. Like, wait, I have.
You might as well just go ahead and put the 100 millimeter.
I have 15 layers. It would, well,
if the price point is not that different, if you're already asking this question, I would say if it's not that expensive, go with the 100 millimeter, because I get a sense that you might always perceive that as a weakness. You know, if you're going all the way out,
point. Yeah, there's a good.
If you're going all the way out to the brick and double drywall and the MLV,
it's got mass loaded vinyl,
and the resilient
I
channel.
know. I was like, well, goddamn.
If you put a 50, I think you will continue to question yourself.
So I have R30 in my walls, which is probably 12. I built the stud bay 9 inches off the wall. So so it's probably a good 8 inches thick, 7 inches thick, because it almost touches the wall. Do I think you need it with all that stuff? If we were talking about you're putting it on the front side of the drywall versus the back side of the drywall, I don't think you're going to notice a difference between the 50 and 100.
Yeah.
But if you're putting it on the front side to absorb and all that stuff,
if it's making you doubt it, if you're putting it behind it, don't even bother.
Yeah,
dude. Brick wall
with brick wall and double drywall.
Yeah,
dude, what are you trying to hide inside that room?
You don't even need anything. But if you're talking inside the room to decrease your decay time,
the room already sounds
well, it
dead,
depends.
Man.
If you could do it either way. If you do 50 millimeter and do a couple inches gap, 50 millimeter with 50 millimeter air gap, you're perfectly fine. If you do 100 millimeter and you do maybe like, a quarter inch air gap, or 25.4 millimeter air gap, or 12 millimeter air gap. Sorry, I got to do my conversions in my head. Because I still measure in bananas. But it depends on what you're going for. If you want the best, like, hey, I'm one and done, dude, go for the 100 millimeter and do 50 millimeter air gap or 25 millimeter air gap behind it. Because basically, when you're talking, and you go online, there's websites, you can Google it. I don't remember, but the thicker your absorption, the better it decreases, and more evenly it decreases your decay. But the thicker it gets, and including the airspace behind that, goes lower in frequency. And basically what you're trying to do with treatment is, hey, I'm trying to even out my decay time. And depending on your room, it's harder to decrease the decay the lower the frequencies, because it's bouncing back and forth multiple times before it even makes one cycle of the sound before you hear it.
Yeah.
So the thicker you get, the better you're getting. But you can't just like, oh, I'm going to put one panel over here only. But if you do like with bass, generally the corners, because of the way it bounces back multiple times, that's why a lot of audio people and, you know, people that design treatment will do the corners, because that's where, since your lower frequencies bounce in the corners, are off or all four walls before it makes one full cycle of sound. So as long as you absorb it in the one corner, it'll absorb it.
Yeah,
Summary
I think
is
for me, it just boils down to the price point. If the price
yeah,
point
but
between
again,
150
price,
isn't
you
that
know,
crazy,
if
just
it's
go
a
with the 100.
question, yeah, if it's a question of, I don't really want to do this, but is it worth it? It's like, if you have the funds, go ahead and do it. You won't regret it, because then in the end, it'll be a better, regardless of your speakers and your equipment, because the sound treatment is the room, treating the room is the most underrated thing. That is where you could literally spend twice as much on room treatment and get a quarter price of this of your speakers and equipment, and depending on the size, right? Like the larger,
it sounds like a pretty well built room.
yeah. If you're
So
talking, I got my,
if you're doing
I've
all
already
of
got
this,
like,
yeah.
I've got $1 million this, and I'm thinking, should I? Yeah, well, yeah. Most people, I don't even know anyone in the Kansas City area that has the
that room
loaded
designs.
vinyl. Where the MLV. Yeah, I don't know anybody in this area that has that. But basically, the thicker you go with, and the thicker and the more air gap, it's the lower the control of your decay time will be. So
Abe's in the chat. Abe, if you're still there, what do you think? What are you putting in your walls? Abe?
I don't know that he would be putting the 50 millimeter. I think Abe does all 50 millimeter, because for the most part, that's really all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
especially
I think
the extra stuff he had.
I think he was doing like an air gap behind it too. Like you do 50
I
millimeters
suspect
and then
there's
50
an air gap.
millimeter air gap versus 100 millimeter, right? And if that's the question, it's like, hey, if I'm doing 100 millimeter all the way against the wall versus 50 millimeters away from the wall because of price, I would have no problem doing 50 millimeter with a 50 millimeter air gap, because you'd be pretty close. A 100 millimeter with a 50 millimeter air gap, that'd be, but that's obviously more than twice as expensive. So
yeah,
I think it was a question about amplifiers. Did I miss that?
But I mean, this question right here, this isn't like, oh, blah blah blah. This is, I mean,
he's already gone to the extreme.
We're looking at
RT60K
time. This is a question for $100,000 integrator, not some fucking YouTuber that that's
we brought the professional.
Does this as a hobby? You know what I mean?
Hey,
yeah.
guys.
Hey, we got the guy that builds $1 million theaters.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. Abe, it's like, God damn, man.
What I do?
Hey, man.
So
you got someone building Roman Polanski's cave, man. Because this
I know,
is crazy.
man. It's like, hey, this guy, why is he not your client? Like, why is he asking us? Why is he asking us dumb tubers this question? You know?
Well, when I just sorry, I toned down for a little bit.
No, no problem.
To work on, I had a client call me, and we were trying to figure out how much yardage of anchorage fabric we needed for the
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So Margaret says he wanted to ask if I put 50 millimeter rock wool instead of 100 millimeter, would it be bad? I got a brick wall, double drywall, mass loaded vinyl, and resilient channel. With all of that, is 50 millimeter rock wool okay?
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If he goes with 100 mil,
double layer drywall. He's got. You said it's a concrete wall.
so he's got a brick wall behind it, kind of like I do, right?
I think
Okay.
the question, I think the heart of the question is like, and I'm guessing here, and I wish he would. It's like, hey, should I do 100 or am I okay with the 50 after all this? And I'm
just
like,
just the regular the Rockwell selected sound, safe and select, whatever is that.
Yeah, safe and sound, bro.
Safe and sound. That's what I have. And that's what I do all my sound panels with. Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah,
and I don't even have MLV.
Well, I think he's talking more like a 50 millimeter versus 100.
Yeah, the thickness.
And it's like, well, you know, the thicker it is, the lower it'll control your
and
decay.
He's doing double. Is he doing 5/8 or?
What if he has
5/8?
What if he has 0 bass traps? Like he's not doing any bass traps at all. What would you? And he was like, should I do 50 or 100 millimeter?
I'd pack that cavity. I mean, yeah, just pack that cavity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like, I think people get confused with the thicker it is, the lower it'll go in frequency. But at the same time, do you really need that? Right. That's why, like, you probably do a lot of like more corner loading for bass because you only need to cancel or slow down the frequency in one surface, and bass, and depending on the room, will bounce in around all 4 or 8 surfaces before it actually makes an audible sound. So it's already, so no matter where it's at.
And really, right. And really, you're talking about, we're looking at the total STC value of this composition.
Yeah. Exactly.
And really, we're talking about for sound isolation,
Oh, is it? Well, that's a good point. Are we talking just sound isolation?
Yeah, I mean,
are we talking control?
Right.
Yeah,
my guess is that it's going behind the drywall. So
this is sound isolation. Yeah, I think that's my guess is that he's thinking, okay, is this enough for
behind the drywall?
Yeah, how you're controlling bass is somewhat of a secondary topic.
Correct.
In that case,
resiliency and things of that nature.
Yeah. In that case, I would be like, oh, you're
plenty. And what are your studs built? Are they 16 or 24 on center too? Because that makes a difference.
That
also
makes a difference too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I think MLV, they recommend you use 24 inches on center for their product. But you can also get away with doing 2 layers of drywall with green glue between layers as another option, which is a lot less difficult.
Yeah, because the MLV, the closer you get the studs, the less it absorbs, right? Because it's basically like
it's also just a pain in the ass to work with. I mean, you could throw up your first layer of 5/8 inch drywall, and then squirt the green glue on the back layer, the second one, and slap that up. And then
that
green glue is not cheap either. Trust me,
it's not cheap. I bought 5 of them one time. I was like, I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And they're recommending a whole 2 per.
And the mistake with MLV though, too, to make it the most effective, you want to install it kind of loose against the studs. You want it to be, if you tight, you reduce the effectiveness of.
That's what I was saying. Like that's why
a lot of people want to sandwich it between the drywall. Don't do that.
16-inch centers automatically gets it a little bit tauter. That's why they recommend it further, because even for people that pull it taut, it's still going to be
Still got
looser.
some, yeah, and just you try. It's so
Yep.
gangly that you're going to have looseness in it just trying to install that son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so don't sandwich it between layers of drywall. I've seen people do that. Not saying the end of the world, but you reduce the effectiveness of the MLV when you do that. Put it right up against the stud. Put it on 24 inch in the center. Just make sure it's just kind of, it's not super taut. It's got some bend to it. That's what gives it its effectiveness. Or said use green glue is another option as well.
Hey, if you're doing all this stuff, so he says he's poor, but if you're doing all this stuff, you're
richer than I am.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
well, you
Different
call
definition of
yourself
poor.
poor, and like your neighbors must all.
You might be poor in spirit, but you ain't poor.
Yeah, if
in cash.
you're doing all the right things. So I mean,
yeah,
keep
you're
doing
probably
what
doing
you're
more
doing,
than you
know.
need to. I mean, if you
It,
got a
yeah,
brick
if
wall
that's
and
what, yeah, it's like at that
and
point, it's like, yeah, dude,
2x4 stud wall.
all day long.
Yeah.
It's like if it's just STC, then yeah.
Also, there's some benefit to, and I've been playing around with this of doing. It also helps save some money. Do one layer of 1/2 inch with one layer of 5/8 on your drywall. There is I forgot the thing of. Sometimes they say having multiple layers of the same thicknesses has a resident issue, and you're having two different. I haven't run into that issue, but I only put green glue between my layers anyway. But for what sounds like he's probably fine. Only a Sith deals though.
yeah.
All right.
Sorry. I know I'm more of a Trekkie, but I do like that.
I think there's a new Trek coming out, isn't there? I thought I heard there was a new Star Trek coming out.
I'm still burnt that J.J. Abrams ruined the comeback of all that. I still can't get over it because I can't stand that flash. That he's a big fan of that the flare, the lens flare. And when I saw the first Star Trek remake that he made, and that goddamn lens flare was in every single scene, I quit watching it because he just went overboard with that lens flare, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore. Unfortunately, and I'm a big trick, and I really wanted to watch this. I wish they would make a version of it where they can remove the lens flare from the whole movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Some people love it.
I get it, and I've never. I guess I used to do a little photography, and to control that is an art in itself.
Well, I'm sure there's a technical.
Yeah, exactly. But I understand what you're saying. It's like, okay, I get it.
I'm okay a little bit, but he just overdoes it. I don't know if that's a technical term for the lens flare, but it's that blinding light that's just every scene's shooting it in your face. But I don't know. But I digress.
So what you been up to, Abe? How are you?
Man, nothing, just working, man. Just finished a pre-wire for a client in North Carolina. So I had a little break, and then I'm going back to Orlando area, hopefully next week, to finish up that theater there. That's what I was talking about last week. And if time permits, like I said, that's the one. If things go well, take a ride out your way.
All right, no problem.
And then if I'm in Orlando enough, I'd love to stop by and check out Benny's and theater and what's the name? The other guy who's out there?
Chuck.
Yeah.
So I look, and then Ryan, I believe he asked a question here. Or no, sorry, Derek asked a question. How did I like the Chuck speakers, the RBH versus the Martin Logan? So I will say that the highs are comparable because one uses Air Motion tweeter. They kind of use the same, almost the same type of tweeter, right? But I will say that the mids and the RBHs, I think they were definitely better than the Martin Logans. And then also
I didn't experience that whenever. I thought the RBHs. Now again, this is just from our M-Wave
M-Wave
stuff. Yeah, I'd always liked the Martin Logans way better.
So I thought the mids were a little bit more pronounced with
Really?
his
Oh,
system. I mean,
okay.
it could be the way that it was EQ'd too. I mean, through
Yeah,
the rack
exactly. And
and
that's why I'm like, oh wow,
um,
really? Like that's why that's the only reason I got. It's like, huh. It's
yeah.
like I
So,
thought the opposite. I thought
and I tell you what, they can handle it. They can handle anything you threw at them too. So
Mhm.
Chuck
Yeah.
probably had that thing playing about 115 dB.
Oh
So
geez.
it was loud, and they didn't sweat at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Well, if they were keeping up with those JTR subs,
So
speaking
yeah.
of JTR subs,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I enjoy them.
style subs.
I've always been interested in those those speakers just because I like the style of tweeter. But yeah, no, I highly recommend them. I mean, the way Chuck had those things set up, the soundstage was just went well beyond the walls. Somebody helped them tune that theater in a little bit. They didn't claim to be a true calibrator, but they did a good job at it for sure.
I see some grumblings in the chat about Triad. Triad is still a great speaker, and I don't. I said Youth Band was knocking into it, but I still love Triad, and they still make some really good speakers.
So actually, Youth Man knocked that speaker, right? He knocked the speaker, but then he came back and ate his own words. He admitted that the Triad was a good speaker after he heard it in a different environment. So
Oh, okay. I just saw that and I kind of was just curious about what happened, what was going on there.
Yeah, no, I was wondering that too. I was like, really? I was like, did he? I must have not have seen the original one.
Yeah,
the first time he commented on it, because I know he had made a few videos where tours where they had triads, and he seemed to like them.
I've been doing triads for close to 25 years, and I've had great success with them.
Yeah, so he did it because Matt, the guy that he's partnered with, he didn't like the way that they were set up in his room, so he kind of bashed them. But once hearing them when they were placed properly and stuff like that, he did eat his words. He did come back and say, "Hey, these are some good speakers." So,
man, I think Mark. I think Mr. Wood here or Mrs. Wood got that same tube where I buy my lube at. Like, where are you getting that much green glue for?
You're buying your lube at, Paul?
$50. I'm like, God damn, dude!
Whole new topic right there.
I'm gonna have to down arrow to find the rest of those deals. Like what?
So Skylake, I mean, we promote everybody here, right? You ask why he doesn't recommend Home Theater Guru. We promote everybody here, but the man's in business now, right? I mean, the fact of the matter is, he's in business for himself. So why is he going to recommend someone else, right? I mean, that's just, I don't know.
We're not here to speak up for
right.
Man.
Like, I like.
It's not our responsibility to speak up for anybody.
He's not here to defend himself, So I mean,
Hey,
I don't understand the whole angle that you're taking towards him or whatever, But
ask him, send him an email.
I
show. I don't know.
He's been a good friend to me. He's extended the olive tree to show me to show me a lot of stuff about YouTube and everything else. Been very kind, very nice guy. Picks up the phone whenever I give him a call. Calls me on his own, asking me how I'm doing and stuff like that. So I have no negative words to say about him. And just I don't know what experience you've had with him, but it's not it's not something that I want to promote on this channel for sure.
Yeah,
so
just let it go. If you have issues, reach out to him directly.
Yep, exactly.
At this point, I don't know what to say, and I don't want it to come across like we're ignoring your comments or anything, but I just don't know what to say.
Yeah,
it's not my job to defend anybody for whatever reason, especially when I don't have any background information, whatever. So Home Theater Gurus is great. I think Michael is doing a great job. Everybody else,
Yep.
you know,
I know nothing.
Yeah.
We promote everybody on this show, whether it be other dealers, whether it be other YouTubers, whatever. We don't see it as a competition here. I'm a dealer. I got Abe on here. He's a dealer. We've had plenty of people on here that are dealers. So I don't see it as a competition. It's not my main job. As we mentioned in the top of the show, we do this just as a release.
Wait a minute.
From our normal
If I
normal
can't
job.
poo-poo on you, Don,
You can do
I'm
whatever
not
you
even
want.
going to show up here anymore. Like what?
That's what the fun part is, right? We have
Yeah.
the band,
No, I mean that there's. Look, what it boils down to is, you can have differences of opinions, right? Regardless of what it is. But when it boils down to it, people start to get personal if they've already spent the money, especially if they already spent the money, right? Like if I bought triads, and I'm just making this up, and someone starts poo-pooing on them. And when I say poo-poo, I'm just assuming, because I mean, like, I know Michael personally, and I was like, well, he may be like, whatever, I like this better. And it's like, yeah, well, that's fair. Whatever, that's his opinion.
He's entitled to his opinion for sure.
But at the same time,
and opinions are like assholes.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, it's like, okay, I may spend a certain amount of money on something, right? And expect this. But if I spend 10 times the money and get this experience versus I spend this and get this experience, well, what are you going to brag about? Versus, oh, this person spent this amount of money and no one else can even afford to experience this, but it really was only worth this. Well, this person's never going to say, oh, yeah, this wasn't even, this was not even on the bar. This person is not going to admit their fault that, oh, I should have.
Well, not only do you have.
But all I'm saying, I'm not saying like value versus money in that scenario. I'm just, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and it's on you to do the research of what you like, because like whenever we went to CEDIA, Abe, you were like, oh, I like this room the best, right? Or whatever. And I was like, man, I forgot what I said to you, Don, but I said something, and I mentioned it last time, and I was like, well, blah, blah, blah. And when I went to the room, I was like, oh yeah, no, that definitely, I like that room the best. And it was, and I think I like their line arrays are just more like dome tweeters, full even dispersion speakers. And I'm like, oh, okay. I think that's what I liked about that more than a lot of these speakers nowadays are trying to control the dispersion in home theaters because of no treatment on the ceilings, no treatment on the floors, right? And in that scenario, it does make more sense, right? It's like, hey, let's do like a controlled, vertical, zero vertical sound.
So line arrays are excellent because you limit the influence of the walls on the speaker, so they're more direct. They're just so much nicer to work with and calibrate within traditional direct radiating. But everything's also subjective to the environment you're exposed to.
And that's
in addition to everybody's opinion.
It's like, and then it's like, you can still, like, you got to watch everything. Like if they come back and say, oh yeah, no, these do sound good, right? But even if he likes them and they say, that, like Michael says, oh yeah, oh, they sounded good in this theater. Well, okay, but you're not going to promote something. Or are you going to just put it down to super simple? Like, hey, you got two things that are basically equal. if I tell you about this one, I make $100. If I tell you about this one, I don't make nothing. But they're
Right.
equal.
Mhm.
In all aspects, they're equal. Which one are you going to tell someone about?
Yeah.
And-
I
and-
mean, it's business. That's all it is.
If you buy this one, my kids eat. If you buy this one, I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Right.
You know?
And
For me personally, I don't waste time and energy defending corporations that I don't own shares in. They don't pay
Yeah.
my bills. Like I will tell you what my experience with them was, what I think about them, what
Yeah.
I feel
And
about them.
everybody, that's an
But
experience.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm not gonna go to war for any brand.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
I don't own shares in your company, I don't work for you. I don't, like I'm not gaining anything from that,
Yeah,
So
I'm not gaining anything from just
sometimes when some of these
standing or whatever,
conversations
yeah.
start up, I just tune out after a few minutes. I'm just like,
yeah.
they don't even know me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get a package on the door simply because I sat here and said, "Oh,
Kind of
this
East
product-"
Coast, West Coast thing,
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
Biggie Tupac, it's
What's a drone for that,
it's a
man?
speaker.
It's like
Yeah, yeah. And
I get
a
Paul's
lot of the
point
times,
though. If
a
you
lot of-
spend a certain amount of money to get a product, you would almost be pushed to go into war for that, right?
Right.
Yes.
Of
Like,
course. Sure.
I bought
Yes.
these speakers for $50,000. I'm not going to let
Well,
anybody
most of the
talk down on it.
questions on YouTube are validation questions, right? It's
Yeah.
a question that
Oh,
I've already
no, they're
make me feel
all
like my
valid. Yeah,
expenditure
we all
was
do
worth
that.
it.
We all do that.
correct.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to feel
and
like
what a
what
lot
they
of people
bought was
don't
what.
a lot of people don't know is a lot of these, not necessarily in the audio community, I'm sure some have, but it's a lot of people don't understand side A and side B will create controversy, knowing that it's like, well, I don't care, because they want both A and B to get attention.
Yeah, all publicity is good publicity.
Controversy builds attention.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make sales? Attention. What do you think TikTok? All these little blurbs, I could make a YouTube video saying, Michael, worships the devil. And people would be like, what?
Please don't give anybody
Like
that
some
idea.
people would be
That's
like,
going to
"What
be
are
a
you talking about?
thumb.
What are
That's
you
going to
talking
be a
about? What are you
short
talking about?"
tomorrow.
They would billions of clicks.
Dude, you're gonna get like 100,000 views in like
Yeah, and
in
it
6
would be
hours.
like, nah. I mean,
Hey,
really?
don't
You
give
clicked on this
that one
video?
person that
Really?
idea.
Have you ever even seen a Michael, a Youth Man video? It's like, it's clickbait. People don't understand.
Oh yeah.
They don't understand. They're not trying to, bait and switch. There's a fine line between bait and switch and I need to get your attention in a row of a billion different colors. How do I become the
And
most
within 5 seconds.
how do I become the most outstanding color in a row of 1,000 colors whenever all the attention I have is that's it? How do I get your attention? So yes,
I just
and
feel like
it
this
works.
conversation just went left field.
Yeah, but
It's time to call it a night.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna put a stop to this one.
I'm
I
pro.
would inject a new topic.
I'm pro
I would inject a
clickbait
new
if it's
topic.
funny.
Oh, you got a new
pro
topic,
clickbait.
Abe?
Just a public service announcement of things to just make people aware. Not this crew, I'm sure, is a lot more aware of these things, but just to spread the word, there's a new influx of the white van scams going out there. So just be aware of if you say, hey man, I got this job left over, I got these speakers left over from this job, they're top of the line Panonis or whatever. It's some cross between two different names and it sounds like it's something. And they come in and take advantage of, they circle around Best Buy parking lots and stuff trying to get you to buy.
I laugh at them.
Yeah, but there are people who get taken advantage of quite
course.
often.
Dude,
And
I bought
do my
white
part
van
to.
speakers. If you talk them down enough, it's like,
No, it's all garbage. It's all.
it is.
Stuff.
It is. But it's like,
just they take advantage of people. So I always try to make a announcement. Especially when I start seeing trends. In fact, I've seen a couple of them to just be aware and let your friends and family know if you see somebody in your Best Buy parking lot trying to tell you to come.
Oh yeah.
Come check out these speakers, man. We had this job left over, and you got to get this. And oh man, I've seen, and it's crap. So be aware of the white van scam.
Appreciate that. PSA.
The PSA there.
Yeah, no, I had somebody come up to me about a month
They're
ago.
gonna get Paul into the van, just showing him some.
I'm like, I told him,
knockoff beer.
Yeah,
They're gonna show Paul a knockoff beer. And he's gonna end up in the white van.
Yeah, he'll buy the whole setup of like, look, I got this projector. It's it's a GUI, or whatever.
Yeah.
I got the Spark-O-Matic.
So
Yeah.
Carl at M-Wave, Germani had all his speakers there. So we got to experience that. I don't know exactly what, which speakers he had there, to be honest with you, but I enjoyed the room. It was at M-Wave. It was my favorite room there. When between all the rooms that they had. If that tells you anything, but I don't know about how each of the speaker you're talking about, the direction of the woofers pointing straight down and the tweeters at the listener. So I'm not sure about that, but
that's one of those things where just again, this is 100,000 foot, basic. I'm not an audio engineer, but I am.
Did you just stay at a Holiday Inn once?
Yeah, I did. Exactly. I stayed at a Holiday Inn. So to me, that could make absolute sense, right? So if you have like a tweeter, a mid-range, and a mid-bass driver, and then a sub-bass driver, right? And a lot of the times is what happens is it's hard to, and the reason you have so many drivers is you're trying to control the volume and get each one of those frequency bands equal, right? You're trying to make a flat response, right? It's really hard to do the further away you get, depending on because you're dealing with control of the size of the diameter of the object producing the sound, and then controlling, controlling the distortion of that object. So what I'm imagining this is happening, right? Like if you take a woofer and you point it down, right? People think, well, why would you do that? Well, one, true bass is completely non-directional in a normal sized room, 100, 200 foot room. It is bouncing back and forth.
Well, is
before
that speaker a surface mount speaker, a ceiling mount, or used for
yeah,
height?
I think it looks like it's a ceiling mount.
Yeah, well, again, it doesn't matter because you got to think about it. Like, we're not talking mid bass. We're not talking mid bass. We're talking lower bass. If it's a woofer, right? We're not talking mid range, right? If it was anything that was like mid bass, mid range, yeah, but maybe, and I'm just making this up because I don't know the design, right? Maybe you have a mid-range speaker and then you have a speaker that's pointing down. Well, that's just pointing right at you. That's not pointing down.
Oh, that's just a full range.
Yeah, that just is a normal speaker. That's not pointing toward the ground.
Yeah.
But anyways, if he had one that pointed down toward the ground, right? Instead of trying to create a very complex crossover to where it mutes the speaker, the sub at the crossover region to the mid-range or the mid-bass driver, if you don't point it at you, you're not hearing it as much, going directly at you. So it's kind of muting that. But yeah, none of those particular ones. Maybe he's talking about a different design. But if I was just like, if someone told me, hey, this is why would you point a subwoofer toward the ground? It's like, well, that's almost masking or neutering the mid-range frequency, but none of those are doing that.
Yeah, these are like angled, so
angled's totally different. That's totally different science going on there. But you're never hearing a subwoofer from the source because it's bouncing in the room.
It's omnidirectional.
It's bouncing in the room 3 or 4 times before you even hear it.
So, Carl, are you talking about these ceiling height speakers, the W's here or the WDs? What?
Oh, where that's?
Yeah, it's a surface mounted, like on wall, on ceiling.
Yeah,
Surround
that's
speaker.
totally different.
That's-
Yeah, that's just more of a directional choice there. Unless, are you trying to make that your mid-range and that just
a
might
regular-
be the way they cross it over,
So just the W. Okay, let me click on the W and see.
That's just a
Yeah,
deeper surround.
there's nothing. That's just an angle thing to control. Like they're trying to aim the speaker, the tweeter.
So this tweeter is aimed at you, and the woofer's just aimed straight down. Is what he's saying.
That's just their. If again, 100,000. I'm not selling these. I don't know anything about it, but this is a basic engineering. They're just basically pointing that at you, and that has a waveguide, so it's controlling it.
Right.
And so basically, you don't have to have as much sound control or absorption in your room, and it's pointed toward your listening area or your rows of listening area. And then the mid-range, why it's pointed in a different direction. It's a little more the lower you go in frequency, the more omnidirectional it is because the wavelengths are longer in feet, right? Like I'm exaggerating here. Like a low frequency bass is like, whatever, 100, 200 foot for one sine wave, which means, okay. And I don't know the math. I would pull it up. Like if a frequency is 100 foot in, to make one sine wave and your room's only 25 foot wide, that means it has to hit 4 different surfaces for you to hear it once. Before you even begin to hear it. It hasn't even made a sound yet.
I kind of see what he's saying is because this, this portion is going to be pointed at you, and this
I get
is going to be, this is the mid range, so the mid range is going to be pointed straight down. So
this is pointed straight down, and this is pointed this way, and that's also can help some cancellations because different, frequencies, especially if they design the crossover at the right point, right, like. Even surfaces and 2 sounds coming at each other and based on the crossover frequencies, because this speaker and this speaker are supposed to take over perfectly to make it flat, right? But the reality is, if you get down to the most basic science, 2 sounds, if you make a sound and it's at whatever, 1 kilohertz, okay, that's at a certain volume, let's say 60 dB. And then you have another source that's saying, hey, I'm playing 1 kilohertz at 60 dB. It's not at 60 dB anymore. It doubles. You're 60, I forget the doubling, 63, 60, it's been so long since I've done this, like 63 dB, 63 dB. So I may be wrong on that, but 1 kilohertz, they're both making it at 60 dB. If they both start making the same sound at 60 dB, it's now 63 dB. So speaker A and speaker B, tweeter versus mid, they do cross over. They make the same similar sounds. And then you cross them over to make them more efficient. But at the same time, you want them to produce an even flat sound, and if you make like MTMs, right? Like, or they can cancel each other out based on the reflection of the surface area coming off of it. So is what they're doing here is they're taking the tweeter and they're making it, hey, I have no reflective surfaces that match my mid-range, so I'm not allowing any cross correlation or cancellation off of my reflective surfaces, because sound in all frequencies is all around 360 degrees unless you do waveguide. And so everything that's coming out of the front of that cone is bouncing and reflecting off of itself, off of the dimensional surface that you're looking at. So again, I'm uber nerding here, right? And do people know? Do people don't understand and appreciate the engineering of sound and speaker design, because there's so much that goes into it that even just adding that slight tilt, which means, hey, I've got this surface and I'm producing sound 360 degrees, except I have a waveguide, so I'm trying to control it. And then you have another surface, so your cancellations are changing. So they're probably mathematically doing their crossovers, their cabinet size, and the speaker to match perfectly, where the cancellations are in such a way that they don't hinder each other, and it adds more to the speaker.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that statement right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've known Grimani for close to 30 years. Yeah, I would definitely say, I'm confident.
Oh, I mean, if you, so
yeah, and that's what it is. It's not that they're inventing anything new.
It's a good statement.
But you got to remember now what's the trade-off of that speaker, right? You've got this angled speaker that's going in this particular, your tweeter. You've got a better, maybe flatter response on that speaker, but it's only whatever the dispersion is of their waveguide, which, hey, that looks like a 3-4, cedar waveguide, which, hey, in that design may be amazing. And maybe
so I think this is what he's saying is that, like, hey, the mid-range is pointing straight down, the tweeter's pointing, right at you.
Yeah.
Right. So compared to these angled speakers that I have, both the mid range and the tweeter are pointing at you due to the angle. Right.
Yeah.
So, I can definitely understand where he's coming from with that. Right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, are they inventing anything new? No. It's just like they're just changing the trade-offs for, hey, in this situation, and what makes it amazing in some scenarios is, hey, you know what? We're starting to see this influx of 4-row home theaters. So let's do this speaker design.
Yeah, I think
it may be like the best for a 4-row speaker design. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just making that up. It's just like,
there's probably some use cases where it's the best solution, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Would it be for every room? I don't think so.
Right. And even Derek's saying they're for smaller rooms.
Yeah. And knowing Grimani, he probably wouldn't even recommend it if it doesn't meet.
Yeah. And that's the other thing.
Right?
Shoot, that might be one of their cheapest
options.
speakers, man. I don't know. I'm just saying there is a reason for the design. It's whether it's a large or a small installation, that's tough. Exactly. The lower in and that's what I was mentioning. The lower in frequency you go, the less directional it is. But that's a whole, it's like, hey,
oh man, I have to do the math, Kyle. You're gonna have to go to school and get a PhD.
Dude, I don't know. No. Dude, I've got Chat GPT to do the math for me, and AI can do all the math for me now. I just tell it, hey, this is the calculation I'm trying to do.
Should I actually I use Chat GPT for work because I had a customer trying to put, unfortunately this customer's place has I'm not going to mention it, but this customer's place has an infestation of roaches, right?
Got bugs.
And they wanted to wait 45 days. So I used ChatGPT to generate me a chart for 45 days later and sent it to him. He's like, all right, come finish this tomorrow.
Did you like multiply the rodents like from
Dude,
day
yes,
one,
that's
500, day
that's
two,
exactly
they have
what
2
it is.
babies.
Because there's certain things that you could do that on your own, right? But it
Right.
would take you a
It
lot.
took me 2 seconds to do it.
2 seconds versus several hours to be like, well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
like,
like-
yeah, this is what's going to happen in 45 days.
As long
Yeah.
as you know
You go for chemicals.
the question to ask and the proper, like, hey, this is the scenario, you
Right.
know. And that's a hard part. Like, you can't just throw, like, hey, ChatGPT, design me a speaker. That ain't gonna
Yeah.
work. You gotta really know, hey, I'm trying to design this speaker, but I don't want this comb filtering on this scenario because my room is this size.
Hey,
And you're almost giving it the answer, but you
Right.
want the finite detail of the one little thing that you don't want to figure out. You know, that's where AI is like, boom, like perfection. It's like, oh, okay, you've given me all the math already. Here's your answer, and you're like, oh crap. And then
All
it's
right, just
easier
going through to
double-
make sure we didn't miss anybody's question here. Thank you guys so much for the comments.
Yeah.
Skylake, yeah, you've been very active in the chat. Definitely appreciate that. Derek and everybody else that's been in the
Oh,
chat.
yeah,
Thank you
man,
so
man,
much.
I love the
And we're looking
Guy-
forward to our
guy like-
100th episode next week. So
Yes, 100th episode. We're trying to
hopefully
put
we can
something in
get some
place for
fun
it.
stuff planned. And
Yeah. So, yep, 100th episode next week. Can't believe it's already been almost 2 years that we've been doing this.
1
And-
century.
And we couldn't do it without you
Yeah.
guys. So thank you so much. One thing that I do want to say is if you would like to be a guest on the show, please email us at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. If you guys are watching this and you've been on the show previously, by all means, stop in next week. You got the link. If you don't have the new link, if it's been about 6 or 7 months since you've been on the show, reach out to me and we'll provide the link. Like to have as many people that want to join next week that have previously been on the show. To celebrate the 100th episode for sure. And then all that great YouTube stuff. Please like, share, subscribe to all the channels here. Abe, once again, thank you for joining, sir. Hopefully you'll be
I
part
love
of you'll partake in next week's show also, the 100th episode. So
And for the
Right.
record, you
now I got to
can't
find a
trust
way to
people.
go downstairs with my legs.
Oh, God.
do I gotta show a video of you rolling down the stairs?
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the 100th episode.
And for the record, you can't trust me. Put that on record.